He was a lifelong Members fan, yeah. Demons fan.
Yep.
I think, yeah. You guys got the better of us in round 2, I think it was. Close one. Another close one.
Watched it
You don't follow it this year.
Oh,
yeah,
look, I haven't followed it for a long time. Yeah.
Alright, here we go, boys, I think. Beautiful. Well, chances are we're going to be chatting amongst ourselves, boys. Can't imagine too many would still be watching, but they can always come back and watch it later. Not good or not well? Oh, we still got a few of the boys hanging in there. Thanks for hanging in there, boys. Clint, mechanical failure. Ugh. God, that would have hurt. Can we get a message?
There we go. Yous are all beautiful.
He's back.
Yeah. I was going to say something else, but...
You can all...
I can't see a lot of chat. I'm trying to work out how to see chat, so it won't be a second, guys. So we do welcome our special guest. Barry has joined us now. He has worked out how to join the party.
Good evening, Barry.
Yeah, and Sean's finally worked out how to operate YouTube, so that's a good thing too.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
He's new at it. He's new at it.
Oh, streaming directly to YouTube. I've never done it this way before, so it's definitely a new experience.
Evening, Mo.
Oh, hang on, pop out chat. Ah, there we go. Oh, I've learned a new button. Oh, wow, I feel proud now. I've learned a new button. I feel really good about myself. All right, back into it. So you'll see on the screen there, I've just thrown it up there, our Revolution Racegear M3 challenge points from round 1. So leading the way was D-Flow, cruising there in second, the Bad Doctor in third, and Mr. Brent there in fourth, also known as Azrael. Making the jump up from Group B, by the looks of it, is Filthy.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Good. Filthy.
He's absolutely pumped about it.
Yep. He's been really excited. He's been telling us all week about it.
Yes.
Also, we have James of Fleas popped up as well, which is great to see. So it was really awesome to see him race there. And, of course, Stickers McQueen is up there as well. So, of course, there are some hard luck stories. So... I'm just having a look there. Oh, that's yourself. Oh.
Yeah, I think it'll be maybe Dadson.
Yep.
Myself and VF will be the three, I think. Or maybe an Azza. I think
Aaron and Excalibur.
Yes.
That's right. Yep.
So that have seen ourselves down for this week to battle it out with the boys in B. So looking forward to that. Not what I'd planned, not what any of the boys had planned, but it's the way the cookie crumbles.
It is. There's definitely... couple of things to take out of that. Big surprises for me, or a surprise for me, was definitely the performance of Stickers McQueen. Really didn't see that one coming, so great job there by Stickers. Really solid drive. He is a West Coast supporter, so we kind of have to hold that against him a little bit. But yeah, really great job. Biggest disappointments? Look, I don't want to say, but it's got to be I'm going to have to say it, is Excalibur.
Whoa! No holding back.
Yeah, no, we don't hold back here at the Microsector. We tell it like it is. Expect a little bit more, but
He'd be expecting more of himself too, I think.
there is a silver lining to this. We get Excalibur and the Moth in the same race.
Yes.
Now, I tell you right now,
if the Moth can beat him home.
I think everyone in Sector 1 will make sure Aaron knows about it.
Yep. There might be some celebratory dinner or two, I reckon, Tony. If you manage to pull that off, I'd shout your tea, mate. We'd all go out for dinner. Put that on the table if you manage to knock the young fella off, though. That'll be interesting to watch.
So, Womble, how was your race, sort of, from your perspective?
Yeah, I had high hopes at this track. Up until I think probably the last 10 seconds of qualifying, I was actually sitting in third and feeling pretty stoked. I can't even remember who it was that knocked me off the third spot for that. But when it comes to racing, boy, that's a whole different kettle of fish. You get stuck in the toe at Autopolis and your front tyres just get torn to shreds with the lack of downforce, and that just absolutely killed my race. I was pretty gutted, actually.
Did you manage to get yourself into much race practice in the lead up to or did that catch you out completely? The difference in tyre wear when you were in the tow?
Yeah, caught me completely by surprise. So I'd had a few lobbies racing with some of the guys in the weeks leading up to the race, but until you're actually in there lap on lap, stuck up the bumper of someone else, it really doesn't prepare you for it at that track.
Can you see yourself maybe slightly adjusting your preparation for round 2 as a result, or?
Yeah, I think if I go into the next round without any practice whatsoever, I'm not going to be quite so disappointed.
Fair enough. Look, we were talking off air just before. I think the guys who haven't raced with S1 before, it's the mental side of the racing that really taxes you, and you find different. All the practice races in the world won't prepare you for the tension and the nerves that you're going to feel. Like that little move there, for example. That's all just nerves, You're trying to make a decision split second. And yeah, mate, you're just a tiny little bit late on a braking point, and the downside to it can be massive. Next thing you know, you're half a lap down.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, and the thing with these BMWs as well, there's no advantage anywhere. They're all the same car, so it really does come down to driver skill. Comes down to that muscle between the ears.
And I've noticed, mate, that they don't like the grass.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Solid observation.
Yeah, there are some that aren't too bad, but this particular car, for some reason, you put a tyre on the green stuff, forget it. It's difficult to recover them from there. And I noticed the other day, anybody who did manage to put a tyre on the grass found out the ill effects of it almost straight away. But either way, we move on to round 2. Congratulations to the winners in both A and B of BMW. Off to a good start. D-Flow Cruising and Darkside. The Bad Doctor. Strong performance. Are you a bit surprised seeing maybe the Bad Doctor ahead of the 4th placed Azazel there, Sean?
No, I'm not actually. Ever since he's moved over to the CP side of things, I do know how they roll over there. They throw checkbooks at performance. And I believe he's got himself a fancy new next level rig as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely attributed to his speed, and he seems very invigorated as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that. He's leading a lot of the practice sessions down there at CP. I've been a little bit absent, but he's taken to CP like a duck to water, as they say, and it's been good to see. I think he's going to be a strong performer in BMWA all season.
100%. Great to see him back. So these guys, of course, off to Bathurst for round 2. And early rumblings I'm hearing out of the practice of Bathurst is D-Flow is not going to have it all his own way. I'm hearing there are a couple of drivers there that are very, very quick. So
well, I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm mistaken, has Cruisin won a race before at Bathurst? I have memories of a Group B victory he may have had. And also maybe even being extremely competitive in a Group A race at one stage, but it's going back a while. But I know he's extremely quick there, and I'd be expecting him the one again to be putting the pressure on D-Flow.
100%
for the BMWs.
Well, moving on now to S1 GT. As you can see, the highlights on screen coming up now. I didn't do these the right way around, so I do apologise for that, guys. Clint says a 201 in the BMW has been seen. Oh, really? How does that make you feel, Womble?
Yeah, not good. No, I'm scraping high 203s at the moment, so yeah, I'm just going to sit back and be a bit of a passenger, I think.
So, moving on to S1 GT, they had their 2 rounds. Fantastic victory there by VLX GTR in Group A. As you can see from the highlights here, Knuckles got the initial jump. We all thought, oh, here we go. But VLX, it didn't take him long to just get that big pink GTR out in front, and once that happened, she was all over Red Rover. A couple of shocks and surprises. I will now put the points up on. Look at me go here, professional. Hijacker, 100%. Great to see him on the podium in Group A. Just proved that race last season, the last round at Spa, was no fluke. He has found speed.
No doubt.
No doubt about it, he's found some speed. And Ricky Bobby there as well. Both former Super 2 graduates. Have moved all the way up there to Group A now, and they are leading the way up there, which is great to see. Knuckles in the Ferrari. Look, really great to see him in the Ferrari and getting the Ferrari up there. Brocky there in 6. Bit of a shock. Not used to seeing the Cyborg down there so low. He's come out with the mindset that he's just here to have fun and that. I am not buying that for 1 second. This guy is one of the most competitive people I've ever spoken to. So,
yeah, look, oh, sorry, you go.
No, go ahead. Oh, please.
I was just going to say that he probably wouldn't be stoked with the final result, but I don't think he was overly disappointed either. He gave it his best shot, and that's all you can really do. Seeing Knuckles get that Ferrari home ahead of him is a shock. Fantastic start by Knuckles in the race, and to be able to still bring it home in 5th is great to see, because that car's going to be even more competitive at other tracks too, which is probably the main thing I got out of this first race. Is unlike obviously our single manufacturer series with the BMWs, here we're looking at all sorts of different cars up against each other in their stock form, no tuning. And what, whether it's going to be something we're going to keep discussing, I suppose, all the way through the season as to how that compares to our usual fully tuned series that we've done in the past. And I think track is going to play a massive part, where some cars are just going to be suited to some tracks, and let's just say that perhaps the GTR, this was a good one for the GTR, and might turn out that the GTR is good on all tracks. We don't know, but it'll be good to get a gauge at Bathurst, get that second track under our belt, and see how the cars compare on a completely different format.
100%, yeah, definitely good for Group B. Well, Group B was a bit of a... What's the best way to describe it? Actually, we'll hand it over to our special guest because he was in the race like me. Describe Group B race in 2 words, Barry.
I haven't got any words for it really, apart from race 1 and race 2.
Yeah.
Race 1 was really good. Race 2 was, yeah.
Yeah, look, we had a massive tactical issue in race 1. Apparently, guys couldn't get out of the pits. Now, it was good for me because I was planning on a really long strategy, and because I had no pace whatsoever. So I was coming through the field thinking, how good is this? I'm just sailing my way through the field, but I'm seeing in the corner of my eye going, pit glitch. I'm like, oh, we'll just keep running, no red flag, I'm fine.
Yeah, I kept doing the same thing. I was just running to my number and I had to pit, and then all of a sudden, same thing, pit glitch. I'm like,
So,
this was a pit glitch in the. Oh, I'm sorry, boys, but this was not one I managed to see live, and I just saw the highlights of it this morning. And there was pit glitch mid-race, was there?
Yeah, so basically you come in for your pit stop and then just keep driving through the pits and drive out the other end, and you couldn't do anything about it.
Can't ever recall that happening mid-race, or not.
No.
Maybe going back way back when, but geez, that's an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember a pit glitch like that. Like, we've had stallers on the grid, we've had rooms just shut down, but yeah, nothing like that. That was, a new one. But I just want to give a shout out to Troy. Really heads up thinking out on the fly to sort of scramble, sort of decide, okay, what do we do? What's best? So a big thumbs up to Troy. We still got the race going. Everyone got awarded full points. So it really hasn't affected the season that much, especially for me because I was going to finish 14th anyway, so it didn't really matter. I'll just say right now, Topless, I'm going to make an executive decision. Admin don't know about this, but we're never racing there again.
Righto. I won't complain.
Say that about in the dark too, I reckon.
Okay, in the dark. That remains to be seen. Yep.
Yeah. So that is coming up. So the next round, the boys are heading to the mountain at night. We are going night racing. Now this is going to be very interesting. I've done a few exploratory laps in the night. I like it. I think it's fantastic. It really adds a layer of sort of immersion. Haven't done it in a pack though, so I'm not too sure how that's all going to play out.
I think the dip is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Have you done much night racing, Barry, at all?
I did 11 laps just before with Ricky Bobby, before we hopped on. That was my first time.
Oh, wow.
And love it.
Yeah, okay. Adjusted pretty easy to it?
Yeah, no.
No.
The lap times are consistent, but I wouldn't say I'm super quick, like a 1:59 just yet. But
so this would be your, and I could be wrong, but is this your third consecutive season in a BMW?
This is my second.
Second consecutive in a BMW. Okay.
Yeah, I had the Ferrari first, remember?
Yes. That's right. And I'm assuming the BMW race isn't in the dark?
No, it's not.
No, thank God.
Well, that's fantastic news.
Can I put my BMW with you guys then?
You stay where you are, mate. You're right. Hey, just another one before we move on, sort of from the round one race. Question to ask of Ragged Edge: what was going on? That I don't think we've ever seen it taken to that level between teammates before. Can you remember it, Sean?
Yes. Wow. Yeah. That hijacker and Troy really went at it.
And I think the end contact, the real nasty one, was an unintentional one. It was a coming together after another incident. But, geez, they were at it the entire race, and you can't help that it was to their detriment. You'd think they'd have something worked out pre-race. They don't want to talk about it. All right, I'll shut up.
We're going to talk about it. We're definitely going to talk about it. It was very Tickford-like. If you've watched Supercars, Tickford are a team that sort of clearly don't have any sort of team orders planned down there because they just get into each other whenever they want.
Definitely not.
So what I want to know is, did Troy read the riot act? Did Troy get out the "I'm the team boss" stick? Or did he say, well, you know what, this young whippersnapper is pretty quick and I'm just going to let him go? That's sort of interesting to see how round... it is.
Isn't it? Is. You know, because it would turn out that their pace would have been almost identical. And it's tough to then decide who do you give the opportunity. But some form of pre-race communication which says, all right, if you're in front, I'll give you 5 laps to set the pace, but if I'm on you, let me through, and then you give me 5 laps to maybe do the same, rather than lap after lap cost each other, half a second at a time. It just felt that they ended up hurting each other more than they needed to. A bit more pre-planning may have helped.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the biggest hard luck story, though, that come out of round one is definitely Wardo.
Yeah. Or Clint had a DNF as well.
Yeah, Clint. There was a couple of boys at Scooter as well. So 3 boys had a DNF. So they're all off to play in Group B. I can hear the collective shudder of Group B right now.
Sort of at the risk of raising controversy here, what was the final outcome for Wardo?
So Wardo will have to serve a 1 race ban,
penalty.
Unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just due to the quitting
nature of the disconnect. So and kudos to him for putting his hand up.
Yep.
You know, he didn't beat around the bush and sort of try to come up with a reason for why. He told us straight away what he'd done, his reasons for having done it. Disappointed that he'd done it, obviously, but sometimes I'll tell you what, I was close.
Yeah, I feel
I was very close.
Same here.
The other day, but sometimes we make silly decisions spur of the moment, and he's accepted his penalty, and we move on.
Yep,
there we go. Clint just left the room there in the replay we're watching. It's a bad little moment for him, but it's just something, unfortunately, that happens as much as it does in real racing. Cars break down, computers disconnect. Internet connections go down.
And we live in Australia, so it happens more often than not.
And that sort of leads us in, Sean. Obviously, the Wardo incident had further repercussions. We have had a driver that's been moved on as a result.
So unfortunately, the Book of John has been moved on from Sector 1. I'll just come out straight out and say it. I don't beat around the bush. We do not tolerate that kind of behaviour at all. And so it was made abundantly clear that he is no longer welcome back here at Sector 1. And we move on.
We move on.
We do.
Exactly. And while we're at it, we've got a couple of others I think we may have looked to replace for varying reasons into round 2. Yeah,
so Dan the Man, unfortunately, had some really some personal issues that he has to take care of. So definitely our hearts and thoughts go out to Dan.
Absolutely.
One of our OG members. I'm sure we'll see him around the traps. He's a ripper guy, Dan. So he will look me replace. There is another big announcement, but I just want to hold off on it. Just want to make sure that a couple of people sort of know about it before I go public with it. But there will be a pretty big announcement. You will know, English it again, idiot. You will know by Sunday though, guys. I will make sure I get you all up to speed. So there we go. So since we got 2 special guests, guys in chat that are watching, if we got guys watching, hopefully we do. Please, love for you to fire some questions at our special guests. Probably the first one I want to go to Barry. You have a pretty close association with Forgotten Island Brewery, is that correct?
Yeah, mate, they're good friends of mine. From back in the Tassie days when I was living down there, so keep in contact, and I just thought it was a good way to get their brand out there and all that sort of thing. So literally started out a couple of years ago, and they do little beer festivals, those sort of things, and with this COVID stuff, they've decided to start canning stuff. So watch this space, and hopefully start seeing them out and about a bit more.
Yeah. And are they readily available in sort of those fancy beer stores? If I go to a
not at this stage, no.
No, okay. No. Do you get to sample in the beer? Do you get to try? Have you had a 6-pack sent your way?
No, not yet. They're still just canning up at the moment, so putting labels on. But I'll get in contact with them and see what they're up to.
Put my hand up. I'd be willing to try a can if they want to send a can my way.
No worries.
Yeah,
pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, fan of a pale ale, that's good. That'll do.
Yep.
Just another one for you, Dan. Obviously, you were with us at CP. Was it not last season? The season before last?
It was in the Hyundai day.
In the Hyundai days, the frustrating Hyundai days. But how did you come about? What Sector 1 was then and has since become? How did you find out about us at that stage, mate?
It all started out with a livery that I saw on the Instagram post that Supercars Extra or something that put up there, and I thought it was mine, but then apparently one of you guys had done it, and
one of us had copied yours.
Yeah, pretty much. So I thought I'll jump on and have a look and see what this is about, and then I saw the community stuff with the Soda Wars and all that sort of stuff. So that's where it all started for me.
Did you come through Soda Wars?
Yeah, I came through Soda Wars. Yep.
Right, there you go.
always used to put it 3 cans wide just for Ghost to commentate it.
Through cans wide.
Yeah.
I like
I was
it.
never going to make the news, but I just knew that 3 cans wide was going to get me onto the stream. So
That's it.
yeah, I've got plenty
Good
of
old
screen time.
can control.
Thinking.
Yeah, I love the can control.
You did something right, mate, because I do remember specifically headhunting you within the correct time limitations of where you're allowed to headhunt. So not early or anything like that.
No,
But
no.
we were very keen to get you down at CP.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed my time there. It was really good.
There's a Blues are coming back, boys. Blues are coming back. Just keeping a close eye on that. Yeah, what about yourself, Womble? You've sort of joined us more recently now, and you've been a bit of a shrinking flower. It's been hard. Right. It's been hard to sort of get a word out of you and sort of try to work out what sort of a personality you are, but we'll keep working at it. How are you finding it so far, and how did you find out about Sector 1?
I was actually dragged into it before the rift that probably everyone knows about happened earlier this year, and it was mainly through the livery stuff that I was doing, because really up until this year all I did was sit around on GTS all day and design crap. I'd never really turned a wheel.
Yep.
But I got invited to take part of the Discord and see what everything was all about, and I actually started to get the steering bug back again, which I hadn't had since Gran Turismo 6. So I've just gradually sort of immersed myself right up until the point where someone said, "Hey, there's a community series happening." Oh yeah, rightio. I'll try and embarrass myself as much as I possibly can. And and they just completely caught the bug after that, and then you guys went and bumped me up so fast through the community series to Group B and then Group A. I still don't really know quite what's going on just yet. But yeah, having a ball, absolutely having a ball. Plus running a team for the first time, so I've bitten off more than I can chew. And we've got ourselves off to a good start this season, so it's been great, really has.
It's amazing how much of your time it can start to take up after a while, but you only tend to sort of dedicate the time to it if you're enjoying it. And yeah, just on the game side of thing, that amazing how many people were just doing what you were doing, which is just the livery side of things. And I remember in the early days being caught in the livery thing and really enjoying what the game provided without the driving side of things. But were you always a wheel driver, or did you get the wheel recently, or what's the deal there?
I bought one of those really crappy Hori-Mori things that flip-flops around in your hands, and there's no feel to the brake and accelerator pedal, and I knew that was garbage right at the outset. But it was just so much different to the DS4 that I'd always played all the other Gran Turismo games with, that I thought, I've got to take the next step. I went out and got myself some Thrustmaster gear, and it has been one hell of a learning experience. I'm hoping to maybe get some Fanatic gear next year, and maybe a chauffeur. Which might help me quite a lot as well.
Well, as you know, if you're sort of within the community, you're always wanting to ask. All those top A guys are always willing to help out if you're ever looking for help. It sounds like you're enjoying your experience so far.
Oh,
with
absolutely,
Sector 1, mate, which is great to hear.
If I can stop putting my foot in my mouth every couple of days, I'll be doing fantastically.
Mate, it's that's a position that needs to be filled.
Yeah,
if it's not
does.
you, we're going to have to get somebody else to do it. So you may as well just keep going, because you're doing a good job of it. It's good.
Right.
Yeah. Whereabouts are you, Womble?
In Brisbane. Well, Ipswich, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, are you still down in Tassie?
No, mate, I reside in South Coast of New South Wales now.
Okay, righto.
Yes, I've been here for 5 years now. 6 years.
You're
I was having a... Oh, sorry, Sean, you go.
You're a dirt bike rider, is that correct, Dan?
Oh, yeah, I'm part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then.
Okay, yeah. You much into motocross, supercross, that kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, when I was a bit younger I was, but yeah, literally since I moved up here to New South Wales, I haven't had much time for it, so
Yeah.
it's sort of been on the back burner. I usually take the bike when I go away to Tassie now, and that's about the only riding I do these days.
Yeah, no. If you're down in Tassie, go pop in and see old mate Pruski. He's a bit of a dirt bike rider,
definitely.
and old Bad Doctor as well. He doesn't mind getting on the two wheels.
He doesn't mind the
Yeah.
two wheels.
Good doctor, I got no idea. Probably not. He probably rides a bicycle. No, a good doc. But
Yeah, well, Pruski's just bought himself a bicycle too, actually.
yeah, well, I did see that. I had to laugh a little bit. I did. Knowing Pruski like I do, I did have to laugh a little bit.
And Womble, he's trying to get me to say all these jelly jokes to you too, by the way. I'm not sure what the story is behind that.
Yeah.
He's waiting for the aeroplane jelly logo on the side of your car, actually.
Yeah.
Well, tell them I'm running out of room.
Well, this is coming from a guy that has pineapple on a pizza, so I won't take it too seriously.
The boys in admin will be well aware every once in every 3 months maybe I'll come up with a brainstorm, and they usually all suck and get knocked back, so you guys wouldn't hear about many of them, if any at all. But I've had one stewing for the last 2 or 3 days, which I wanted to share with everybody. State of Origin series.
Oh,
Not for this year,
yes.
but I'm thinking maybe moving forwards, maybe season 3, season 4, it could be a side series, but I can see a State of Origin series having some real appeal to a lot of guys, and we've got enough from every state, and of course we had New Zealand as a state. New Zealand would be a state.
Couple of things we need to tick off quickly.
Yes.
Is it born or live?
Well, whichever you prefer. Where your heart is at.
Okay.
I think is where it should
hang
be.
on. I'm just messaging Cyborg now to find out where he is born.
We've lost Cyborg, unfortunately, but we do up some big V cars, some
I like
maroon cars, and we get them out on track. Here we go. We might actually see one. That's why I thought I'd release it on this, so it hopefully held some traction. But no, just a bit of brainstorming.
I do feel for Hardsoft. I do believe he's the only South Aussie.
We might not even have a WA member anymore.
No, we do.
Either, actually.
Braddles.
We do. Okay.
Yeah, Braddles is from WA.
Look
at these rugby league guys. Queenslander.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to see. I knew we'd get some passion behind that.
Well, see, us Victorians, we don't need to do that. This is the sporting capital of the world. We know. We do one thing in Victoria. We win.
We just need to survive coronavirus and we'll be right.
Yeah, that's true. So if everyone could stay the you-know-what home, that'd be great.
Anyway, we move on. So round 2, Bathurst.
Round 2, Bathurst. Of course, live. The COVID capital. Of course, live from 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Group A, so it'll be myself and the good doc bringing you all the action. Should be a lot of fun, actually. Really looking forward to it. But other than that, we might finish off with our top 5, of course. This week we went with top 5 race cars of all time. Personal preference, of course. And I might give the new ball off to Womble.
Oh, well, right up at number 1, McLaren MP4-4.
Ah, yes.
What a machine. Yeah, between Prost and Senna and the epic battles that they have between each other, and just the way it used to monster everyone else. I'll never forget watching that when I was a kid.
That lap around Monaco, just that Monaco race, I mean, yeah, Senna being a hero of mine, yeah. Love that choice.
Yeah, beautiful car.
Next.
Well, for me,
top 5.
Top 5, not top 1.
Audi Quattro.
Audi. Oh, the rally car, the S4.
Yep. Yeah, the one that started it all.
Yep.
Of course, the GT40.
Ah, yep.
Yep. Mainly because I love Steve McQueen more than anything else.
Oh,
Um,
what a guy. What a guy.
oh, mate, seriously. The Mazda 787B. Just
Yep.
the sheer ferocity of that thing around Le Mans. If that doesn't get you excited about motorsport, there's not a single machine on four wheels that will.
A little side story about the 787B, actually. Wasn't actually the quickest car at Le Mans. It was actually quite slow, but the reason it won in I should know this, 1991, I believe, top of my head, or 99. When it won, the reason it won was because all its competitors basically had breaking down and was just able to do lap after lap after lap after lap after lap.
Right.
And that's the reason the 787B won.
One through consistency.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, what am I up to? Is that 3? Or is that 4?
3.
That's 3.
Yep.
The Mini Cooper. I will always love that car, and one of my uncles back in NZ used to race one at Mystery Creek, and some of the cars that he beat in that little bucket was actually quite astounding. Seeing one of those things up on two wheels, keeping up with a Vauxhall Chevette with a V8 under the bonnet, it was pretty cool to watch.
Very cool.
And probably the Porsche 911.
In what spec?
Any spec.
Any spec.
I'm just a fan. I really am just a fan. That is motorsport for me. Is the Porsche 911.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, you've made Sean moist. It's nearly 9:30.
Great selection of cars there. Love them all. The Mini Cooper, of course, won the Monte Carlo Rally numerous occasions. Also famous for being in the Italian Job. Great movie,
And
the
I think
original.
we're probably going to have a mini-series soon, Sean, is that right?
Yes, there was talk. Me and Barry actually have had a conversation about a fun mini series. Just
It looked really good at Goodwood, didn't it?
yeah, so just everyone in minis. If we get them all in sort of classic style liveries as well, it would look really, really cool.
They flip easy, those things, don't they?
Yep.
I've flipped it a couple of times.
Barry, you can have the second new ball.
Mine's probably, compared to that list, it's probably a bit boring, but it's a lot more local as well. So, look, my number one car is going to be the Larry Perkins Russell Ingall 1995 Bathurst winning car.
Yep.
It had a bit of trouble on lap one and came through and won the race. So that's one for me.
That was the last 5 Holden engine to win Bathurst, wasn't it? I believe. Top of my head.
97?
Oh, 97 was the last one. Yep. Okay.
97 was the last time Larry Perkins won in that. In the old Holden built engines. Then the next one's going to be the Greg Murphy, Rick Kelly VY Lap of the Gods car.
Oh.
So that for me, just watching the top 10 shootout that day and watching that lap and watching everyone cheering him as he drove back through the pits was pretty awesome.
I think the biggest memory out of that one is the commentary. I'll never forget. Check out the split. It's awesome.
It's right. Yeah, I just remember that he missed a gear.
Yeah.
He missed a gear coming through the diff or something like that. Anyway, third one for me would be the Alan Grice and Bailey Chickadee VK Commodore.
Oh, yes.
Just the livery on that is awesome. Definitely one for me.
And last year, Bathurst had the full Conrad Straight. 1987, of course, they put in the Chase Complex.
That's right, they did. First year they ran the Chase. Number 4 for me would be the Lowndes and Murphy 1996 Bathurst winning VR Commodore. Just the livery on that and, just the image of them the next day, all hungover. With that car. It's always going to remember that one. Yeah. And number 5 was really hard between the Adam Prusky Formula V and the Bob Jane 1969 ZL1 Camaro. So,
Listen to it.
Prusky's Formula V.
Sort of torn between the 69 Camaro or the Prusky bloody Formula V, to be honest with you.
Oh, what a car the Formula V is. What a car.
Yeah. Sex on wheels, I reckon.
Yep.
Well, that's what Prusky reckons.
That's a great. Actually, that's an awesome top five. Enjoy it. Yeah. Really
Yeah, look,
cool
a bit more,
cars.
bit local, but
Yeah.
yeah, look, I try to think abroad as well, but yeah, honestly, probably a bit more relatable to me and the supercar stuff. So
I think Alan Grice is one of the forgotten heroes of Bathurst.
yeah, definitely. Like, back in the V all day as well.
Yeah, who can remember 1990 against the might of the Sierras, the GTR, and his plucky little VL Commodore? Beat a lot of them.
He did. I think he got pole that year too, wasn't he? I think.
No, GTR got pole that year. Oh, not G.
That's
No,
right.
no, it was the Sierra got pole.
Yep.
That's right. Yes. Claude.
Yeah, well, you put me on the spot here. I'm not going to hide ever the fact that I'm not a car enthusiast. F1's always been my passion, but I don't even follow the models. I do follow the technology and what they're doing, but models of cars mean nothing to me. Liveries a little bit, but for me, my earliest recollections of car racing and just racing in general, you've just mentioned when I was a young kid, watching those Sierras race those GTRs. I just sort of got that first exposure to what different technologies could do and how far the difference was in the strength of one car to the other, and the end result was usually a bloody exciting race to watch most of the time. And so the Sierra and that GTR was sort of what opened my eyes to race cars. But as a Formula One fan, the FW14, FW15 is tough for me to sort of go past. It's just an iconic car that you see it and it brings back memories of a lot of things that aren't even racing related to me. So yeah, that'd be the only other one I could mention that are really favourites for me.
Yep. Oh well, I mean, back when Williams meant something.
Was Williams? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I've gone full pro. I've got a visual top five. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm going to put it up on screen now. So number 5 is the Porsche RSR from the original 1972 model right through to the brand new model. You think Le Mans, you think endurance racing, you think the Porsche RSR. It was also the first turbocharged Porsche race car back in 1972-73 in that famous Martini livery. The other ones on screen, of course, were the livery tributes, so the Rothmans Porsche and also the Pink Pig. Pink Pig is a very famous car. Number 4, it's my favourite ever F1 car, is the McLaren MP46. In my opinion, the prettiest Formula 1 car ever built. Sounded glorious, and with the GOAT behind the wheel, it was pretty much unstoppable. That thing at full noise is just a sight to behold. At Adelaide, I was lucky enough to see it. And Senna will always be my GOAT. Yeah, I get actually pretty emotional talking about Ayrton, so we'll move on. Number 3 is the Porsche 917. In all variants, the 917 short tail, long tail, and the K version. This is the car, you did hear Womble mention Steve McQueen. This is the car that made that movie famous. He actually did a lot of the driving in Le Mans. True story. Gave Porsche its first win at Le Mans in 1970, and guess what happened after that? They went on to dominate Le Mans. You think Le Mans, you think Porsche. Simple. Number 2 is the greatest Le Mans car of all time. It is the big bad Sauber C9. You can have your 787B, you can have your Jaguar. Nothing beats this thing. The Silver Bullet. It was a weapon. Sounds glorious. Turbo V8. Won Le Mans in 1989 before they put the chicanes in on the Mulsanne. 410 kilometres an hour down the Mulsanne Straight. This thing, yeah, this thing was an absolute machine. It is my favourite car in Gran Turismo Sport. I love driving it all the time. If you know me, you know I've put about 60,000 liveries on the thing. Absolutely love it. Great car. If you ever get the chance, guys, jump on YouTube and check out the footage of this thing. The sound it makes is just next level. But number 1, well, those that know me, no surprise, it is the Ford Sierra Cosworth RS 500 in that gorgeous Texaco black and red. This is the car that got me into motorsport. I was lucky enough to be at Bathurst in 1987. And I saw this car and fell in love with it straight away and fell in love with motorsport straight away. Yes, it did.
I think you've made a couple of cars with that livery on it, have you, Sean?
Just a couple. Yes, it did get banned for flared wheel arches, but so did every car in the 1987 World Touring Car Championship, to be frankly honest. This car went on to dominate European Touring Car Championships. Basically, anything it entered, it won. What it also did is got Ford right back into motorsport and also tin top racing. Besides little bits of locals here and there, Ford were really in a bit of the doldrums, especially in Europe. But then they come up with this thing, and wow. But a little bit of Aussie history about this car. Dick Johnson actually built the quickest Ford Sierras in the world. Went over to Silverstone in the RAC Trophy and absolutely wiped the field of the Rouse and the Edinburgh Sierras to the point where they were going, what are they doing over there in Australia? But a great car.
Texaco fuel as well, was it?
Yeah, Texaco. The special fuel, that's right. But a great car. Even Brocky drove on. That's how good it was. Yeah, there you go. But a great car. To be honest, narrowing it down to his top 5 was really tough. There were some big miss outs. Probably the closest one to missing out was the Peugeot 205 T16, the greatest Group B rally car of all time.
I'm going to cut you off there, or you'll keep going for the next 20 minutes. The list will be long.
There's the top 5. So, yeah.
Well, we probably need to start thinking about wrapping up.
We will.
We did have our interruption, and we're sort of gone into 9:30 here. But before we did, just one final maybe question for the boys. Start with Dan, mate. What are your expectations for the rest of this season? What are you aiming for? What would see you with a smile on your face at the end of the season?
Oh, look, if I get into Group A, I'll be happy to finish sort of mid-pack. It'd be pretty good. But if I stay in Group B, we'll, look out podium.
Oh, he's put it on the table.
Good stuff.
I love it.
Yep. And in Womble, yourself?
Well, personally, after Bathurst, I think everything will start settling down a little bit more for me. My teammates Gaz and Woody in the GTs just love their M6s, so I think we'll be expecting big things from them this season. Championship win. Buffer in Group B, I think he's got a lot of improvement in him this season. I think everyone's going to be quite surprised as to where he ends up, personally. I'm wishing him more than any of us the very best of luck, because I think he really deserves to be pushing up through this year.
There I go again, spearing off to the left. Jeez, Claude. Hey, congratulations to you, Womble, on getting you right into this. You know, the team, the driving, the constant communication, it's all good stuff, and keep
constant
it up, mate.
Communication, that's what you call it?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to put it in under. But just keep it going, mate. It's what it's all about. It's enthusiasm for what we're doing, and more of it, I say. So don't become a shrinking flower, and somehow I think that'd be an impossibility anyway. So as long as you're enjoying the ride, we'll enjoy it with you.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
And just one more from me. Hey, Sean, how many times do you reckon I'm going to pass you on the outside this year?
Oh, this guy.
Holy moly.
Wow.
Love it.
Just fires it in there.
Never back on the microsector again.
Yeah.
No.
Well, look, probably not as many as you think. That will be due to the news coming Sunday. But, I will say a but, have you got ACC by any chance, Barry?
Oh, there's a return challenge.
Yeah, oh, no.
No, you haven't? Go and get it. More than happy to have a race with you on that. But, of course, Barry did, he got me. That's fair. I'll take that.
Square.
But he forgets that I call his races in the box as well. So don't worry.
Am I the Brands Hatch King now?
Oh, yeah, whoa. Okay. Now you just need to pump the brakes.
He'd been hanging on to that from the start. He was
Yeah.
dying to drop those 2 bombs.
How many
Just
championships
before
you
we
won,
finish.
by the by? Anyway.
I think you won one, didn't you?
No, I haven't won one.
No.
Oh, I've won 2, just letting you know.
Yeah, no. Good job, guys. Well done.
But on that very interesting note, we might end it there.
That's what it's all about.
Big thank you does go to our 2 special guests this evening, Womble and Dan the Man, Dan Berry, the Brands Hatch bridesmaid. So big thank you for these guys getting involved. Big thank you to our viewers as well, especially for their patience sticking around, guys, after that technical malfunction. I'm about to go and have some very stern words with a third-party website very quickly. Thank you to Claude, as always. We'll be back
worries, mate.
in a fortnight's time for episode 4. Should be a lot of fun. But be sure to join us on Sunday night from 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for Sector 1 GT Power by Aussie Hampton Group A from Mount Panorama Bathurst. But other than that, you've been watching and listening to the Microsector.